So last year, I reviewed the Insta360 Flow Pro, a smartphone gimbal that I felt completely changed the game for solo creators as it's full of super helpful, easy to use features designed for those who film on their own. The design was pretty incredible and it left me kind of awestruck at how useful a tool like this could be. So I was super excited when the good folks over at Insta360 reached out asking if they could kick off 2025 by sponsoring a video of me checking out their new Flow 2 Pro, their updated flagship smartphone gimbal that, believe it or not, offers even more than its feature-packed predecessor. And I've been testing it out for a few weeks now, and I want to go over how my experience has been to help you figure out if the Flow 2 Pro is the right gimbal for you. Hey, it's Jason. I make videos on popular consumer tech to help make sure that you're as informed as possible before you buy something. If you find this video helpful, please press the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Also, I get asked all the time where I get the wallpapers from my phones. If you guys want them, make sure to subscribe to the JSL newsletter. I send subscribers out a new full-res wallpaper every single week, as well as really good tech deals and random articles written by yours truly. It's totally free. Link to subscribe will be in the description down below. Okay, first, let's talk about the updated design of the Flow 2 Pro because there are some important changes here. Now, what hasn't changed is that the gimbal is just as compact and easy to carry around as before and still retains this smart folding design that is a bit simpler to operate than the previous generation. You just swing out the gimbal arm in one motion to activate and turn on the Flow 2 Pro and then simply fold it down to turn it off. It still uses the clever magnetic mounting for your phone that is super easy to attach and detach, and you still get access to Insta360's rapid deploy system that instantly balances the gimbal for you, which is super convenient. You get slightly beefier integrated tripod legs on the bottom of the handle, which is low-key a great feature as this allows you to quickly mount the gimbal onto a flat surface a bit more firmly to start filming without needing to carry around any attachments like other gimbals in the market. You still get 3-axis stabilization that does a superb job at canceling out shakes for silky smooth footage even when in rough run-and-gun shooting situations, and you still get access to the convenient telescoping selfie stick to get those tough angled shots. Moreover, the gimbal still supports 360 pan tracking for that infinite spin and the ability to one-tap pair your phone with the Insta360 app using NFC. Now, a new design change to come to the Flow 2 Pro is the updated control panel that's a lot more refined and easier to use. You get an array of tactile buttons to navigate the gimbal's features, complemented by some nice LED lighting. You get the joystick in the center for the manual control and an integrated adjustable knob that can be used to focus and engage your camera zoom. There's also now a very simple but super useful selfie mirror on the back of the gimbal joint here. This allows users to get a sense of how they're framed up if they want to film a video of themselves using the rear cameras. Again, a very simple but clever addition. Now, with this modified gimbal arm, it does allow users to take advantage of a new feature called tilt-free mode. By rotating the axis like so, you get a wider range of motion that allows you to get creative shots like a crane or a tilt without the need for any fancy equipment. Speaking of controls, there are some new ways that you can control the Flow 2 Pro that couldn't be done on the previous model, starting with the ability to use your phone as a remote. All you have to do is press this button on the Insta360 app to generate a QR code that you can then scan with a different phone, and then within seconds you'll have a remote that you can use that is particularly helpful for when you're shooting by yourself using the rear cameras from a distance. The Flow 2 Pro also supports Apple Watch control where you can remotely control the gimbal while using the Apple Watch. Again, super convenient when it comes to first pass quality, especially if you're deep in Apple's ecosystem. When it comes to the gimbal modes, there's the follow mode where the tilt and pan axis follow the movement of the handle, ideal for getting those smooth vertical shots for some nice B-roll. Then there's the pan follow mode where the pan axis follows the movement of the handle and locks everything else, good for vlogging where you want to maintain that locked horizon. Then you have the FPV mode that unlocks all 3 of the gimbal's axes, which is good for getting those more creative shots that normally would be really difficult to get. If you press and hold the trigger here, you'll go into lock mode where all of the axes on the gimbal are locked, which is helpful for doing something like a cinematic follow shot. And the Flow 2 Pro also has Insta360's auto mode where the gimbal itself will adjust modes based on your movements, which is really great for beginners. But probably the best thing about the Insta360 gimbals is their AI deep track 4.0 technology. It's truly kind of mind-blowing. The Flow 2 Pro is able to quickly and accurately lock onto a face or an object of your choosing, and it can very accurately track it all by itself. And it's extremely accurate. Even when I try and trick it up by blocking the track target, it's still locked on like a laser. And what's great is that this native tracking can be used on Apple's home camera app, as it is Apple Docket compatible, which is really rare in regards to the competition. It also has native access to around 200 plus third-party iOS apps like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, which is pretty fantastic. And Insta360 actually expanded their tracking capability within the Insta360 app, starting with something they call active zoom tracking. This allows you to obtain the tracking capability using your phone's zoom lens, which is great for things like sporting events where you can't get too close to the subject. There's also a new multi-person tracking mode that essentially allows you to track multiple people in a group. You just select all the faces in the frame and it'll treat everyone in there as a single entity and keep them in the center of the screen. This is great for when you're vlogging with friends or shooting a video while doing something together to ensure that your frame is properly lined up. There's also a new feature called Framing Grid, which overlays a standard camera grid over the frame and then allows you to select a point to track your video using a specific composition of your choice. This is great if you obsess about having your subject composed in a particular area of the frame, and it's pretty awesome to be able to maintain tracking of your subject while also maintaining the composition that you're looking for. Now, it's pretty impressive that Insta360 was able to improve on this technology, as it was really good before and it's noticeably better now, and I can't stress how useful this tracking feature is for solo creators like myself. It's seriously like having an AI cameraman at your disposal, and these new additions only make the technology that much more impressive. There's a ton of additional new features on the Insta360 app as well, such as being able to use your phone as a teleprompter, which is again great for solo creators. You can also have the Gimbal shoot 360 photos for you, and more cinematic things like motion time lapses super easily. It's truly like having an all-in-one toolkit that is surprisingly easy to use. At the end of the day, I've been really impressed with the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. I thought that this was going to be just an iterative update to last year's model, but it's a lot more feature-packed than what I was anticipating. This is the type of tool that in many ways unlocks creativity while you're doing a shoot. It makes getting tough shots so much easier, especially when you're on your own, and I'm still blown away at how far above and beyond this device goes from being just a gimbal. If you guys are interested in learning more about the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, use the links in the description down below. And if you guys missed my review of the new Insta360 Ace Pro 2, their latest pro action camera, definitely check it out here. You're not going to want to miss it.